from Cheekyricho Cooking's red lentil and roast pumpkin dal cooked in the Ninja Foodi. This is a delicious recipe. You can make it a vegan recipe by omitting the butter that I'm using and substitute that for oil. And I'm using chicken stock. You could substitute that for vegetable stock. Everything else here is vegetarian. The first thing that we're going to do is heat our pumpkin, which has just been chopped up into pieces that big, almost like wafers, and we're going to turn that onto the air crisp function and cook it for 20 minutes, stirring it from time to time. Now, whilst that's cooking, and don't forget with your Ninja Foodi you can check it and stir it and it doesn't forget its memory. We've got some vegetable salt we're just going to add with our freshly cracked pepper. Now the salt will draw out the moisture in the pumpkin and aid in its browning. The butter will melt and periodically we're just going to tip it all around. After 10 minutes we're going to pop in our onions. We don't want them to burn. We've got some garlic here that's going in also. Coconut cream and of course our red lentils. I'm using homemade chicken stock, but you can of course use vegetable stock. Okay, 4 minutes in, the butter's starting to melt. We're just going to toss it all around and make sure the vegetable salt and the pepper comes into contact with those pieces of pumpkin. You can see it's quite a buttery mix now, given the amount of butter that's actually in there. You could use ghee if you like, of course. Alrighty. That's Richo's homegrown pumpkin, by the way. Okay, we've just tipped in our coriander, cinnamon, garlic, turmeric, our 2 onions that have just been roughly chopped. Stirred that all around, and we're going to give it another 5 minutes to activate those spices. It's already smelling gorgeous because it's hit that butter. And our chili's in there too. I actually just explained all that to you and the camera didn't work. So here's all my little empty pots over here, and you're just going to imagine that they actually went in there. Unbelievable. Okay, after 5 minutes you can see that our spices have just started to caramelize with our onions. It's time to send in our red lentils now. Just give those a stir around. Okay, send in our chicken stock now. It's one big gloop. That will melt pretty quickly as soon as it hits the hot pumpkin. And we're sending in our full can of just chopped up tomatoes. And give that a mix around as well. Now, because the pumpkin is essentially cooked, we are going to put on the pressure cooker lid and just give it 5 minutes. Okay, pressure cook onto the pressure cook function. So we close our little vent off, put it around to the pressure cook function and cook it on high for 5 minutes. It will come to pressure. That little red button will pop up to show you that it is actually at pressure, and then it will cook for 5 minutes. It'll take a few minutes to build up to pressure because we have actually got some quite hot ingredients in there. Okay, 5 minutes is up. We have just released the pressure. Now it's time to add our coconut cream. Because it's very, very hot, that's going to dissolve in there quite easily. And just give it a stir. You can see the big chunks of pumpkin in there, pieces of tomato. Stir that right around. We're serving this with some yogurt and some coriander and some steamed basmati rice. Okay, it really smells lovely. Okay, so we'll just fetch some of our pumpkin dal out with a scoop of our yogurt and some fresh coriander. Doesn't that look delicious? Ninja Foodi, you've done it again. Absolutely delicious.